Majinga Over the Edge.
Motivation is very tricky. It's not a rah 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 thing. It's more something that must come from inside. Motivation is very tricky. It's not a rah 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 thing. It's more something that must come from inside. Motivation is very tricky. It's not a rah 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 thing. It's more something that must come from inside.
Motivation can be a fleeting thing. Sometimes it's difficult to continue to be motivated in your craft, no matter how much you love it. The incredible amount of repetition that must be performed as a show person can lead to a sense of monotony. It's important to keep things fresh for ourselves and for the audience. But that doesn't necessarily mean you have to change your entire act. Sometimes, just by adding a little psychological twist to your own thinking, you can motivate yourself in different ways to make something fresh again, even if it's the same routine. Today, we're going to be hearing from a man I've admired for more than 15 years since we met, Mr. Wayne Huey. He has a very fascinating background in acrobatics and martial arts, and he does a little bit of magic, but his main focus is a contortion act and a hand balancing act, and he's a circus performer. But beyond that, he's also what I consider to be a very well-balanced, spiritual type of person who understands what it takes to have longevity in a career of entertainment, and he definitely motivates me.
And you and I know there's always that shortcuts never last long. You got to go through the cycle. You got to pay your dues. You got to work hard, and really put a good product out there. And people will call you back. And that's why you never worry about who's kicking doors. As long because I've always said it's a big piece of pie. Just take your slice. All I want is one slice. I don't need the full piece of pie. It'd be too much for me to eat. So as long as I have my slice, I take care of it, there'll always be room for growth. And that's how it should be. As an entertainer, as long as you respect the art, you put out good product, you'll have many more shows to go. So.
Yeah, that's great philosophy.
You gotta, because it could be a jungle out there, right?
Yeah.
You know, 20 years, I've been doing this 20 years, not as long as you or some other performers, but it could be a jungle out there. And I think, like I said, as long as you put in the time and the dues, and no one can take it away from you. It's yours. I came across a performer lately who I met about maybe 10 years ago. Does some magic, and he had this bird act. Met him up in Sacramento. His name is Dan McKeon. He's in Redwood City now. And then we talked recently. He says, "Wayne, I just don't have it no more. I just can't find the motivation to go do it, you know." And then we just had this little talk, and I'm trying to, just be supportive, right? And then there's no magic wand. And sometimes, if it's meant to let go, let go. But what I was trying to say to him in some good way was, just get back to the basics. What got you there? Get back to the basics, and start small and keep working at it. And why you're doing it. Like I told him one time, I asked one of my mentors, "Hey, where do you get your motivation? Why are you so driven, so ambitious?" He says, "Wayne, why do you get up in the morning?" "Why I get to brush my teeth, comb my hair? No. why do you get up in the morning? It took me a long time to understand that. Why get up in the morning? If you don't know why you get up in the morning, then you're always gonna, maybe one day go here, one day go there. Oh, it's better there. Oh, it's better there. Then you'll never know where you're going. One time I asked one of my mentors, hey, where do you get your motivation? Why are you so driven and so ambitious? He says, Wayne, why do you get up in the morning? Why I get up, brush my teeth, comb my hair. No. Why do you get up in the morning? It took me a long time to understand that. Unless you know why you want to get up in the morning, that's where you find your motivation. Why get up in the morning? If you don't know why you get up in the morning, then you're always gonna, maybe one day go here, one day go there. Oh, it's better there. Oh, it's better there. Then you'll never know where you're going. So, in essence, what he was saying was that, you just gotta find your own path. Don't follow anybody. That's why we talked about earlier about the teacher, right? I think in terms of a teacher is, they're only with you for a short time. If it's a certain teacher that way I'm looking for, they want you to go. They want you to go, because if you're always there with me, then you're too dependent on me. They want you to go out there to do something for other people now, and that's the thinking that I have. So what I was sharing with Dan is that get back to the basics and why you actually did it. If you capture the essence of a little bit, then you'll know why you need to keep on doing it, because you have this incredible talent and you've been performing for over 15-20 years. That motivation will come back if you get back and capture that essence of why you started doing it. If you don't get that, then you just forget, and then you lose sight of why you started in the beginning. So that's kind of how we had the conversation.
I'm sure that motivated him. It'd motivate me.
Well, it's just planting a seed.
Mm-hmm.
There's no magic wand, and motivation is very tricky. It's not a rah thing. It's more something that must come from inside.
Yeah.
And that's why certain performers last 5 years, some last 30 years. Why some athletes last 2 years, some last 30 years. It varies because of what they have and why they're doing it, and how they want to keep it for much longer. There's a lot of talented people out there. That's not what we're short of. Talent is just a lot of talented people out there. It's how to keep it and how to respect it and how to treat it right. If you do that, then you have much longer longevity. That's kind of how I see it.
I like that.
Find your own path. Don't follow anybody. Find your own path. Don't follow anybody.
An ancient Chinese proverb, a path is still a path, even at night. A path is still a path, even at night. A path is still a path, even at night.
A path is still a path, even at night.
Majinga Over the Edge.
Oh. What do you know about the changing face? Que like bien lien?
Don't pin in, yeah. Pin in, yeah. There's a pin in.
Que like bien lien?
Don't pin in, yeah. Pin
Yeah,
in,
do you have
yeah.
any
There's a
other
pin in.
masks like that one?
Don't pin in, yeah. Pin in, yeah. There's a pin in. Don't pin in, yeah. Pin in, yeah. There's a pin in. Pin in, pin in.
Have you just this?
够时间过来好不好？
你等一下，我
I want to look at a couple of those other masks. Are these characters from the Sichuan opera?
Pin in, pin in, pin in.
Are they specific heroes, characters from the play? Justice.
Red.
Some are brave, some are coward, etc. Okay.
Majinga Over the Edge.
My artiste friend, Pirio Khan. Now, you've seen my magic shows for years. We've known each other 20 years or so.
Almost, yeah. Almost.
Yeah, so you saw some of my earlier works.
Yeah, it was the Los Gatos, the Cabana Club, where we had finished.
I believe I did
school.
it. Yeah.
That's where you came. I think we hired you like 3 times or 4 times.
Yeah, and that was
Yeah.
way before that I started working with Chinese masks. What did you think about that first performance of Chinese masks? What do you recollect about it?
It was different what you've done before, because like when you did shows that there are kids, you have to kind of do them that they appeal for both. But I think this mask show was kind of very sophisticated, something like more mystical, something that you don't see a lot, because a lot of magicians act, you expect things to pop out from the boxes and bunnies coming out of the hats and all that. So I found that very, very sleek, and it was kind of, you had some black cape or something, and the music and the lights and everything. So that was kind of more like for adult audience, a more sophisticated audience.